Don't you worry, the clip's about to begin, but don't forget to subscribe. Or else, don't make me turn this website around.
All right, well, let's keep going. Nathan in California, you are on with Andrew and Matt. How are you? Welcome to Hang Up.
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call. I've actually been trying to organize my thoughts on this one because I've been wanting to call in to any one of your shows for about a year and a half now. But the problem is I'm always agreeing with your positions, and I don't want to play devil's advocate, waste everybody's time because I just like to debate. But over the past obviously 4 years here, this whole political climate here has gotten really crazy here, and I think the thing that we see most is how it seeps into our families. And I'm really trying to have these conversations with my families, who are part of my family, who are the staunch Trump supporters. And whenever we have these conversations, somehow they always work in, well, I like this person because they're a Christian. Right? And then I'm always going back like, well, how is this party hijacking Christianity? And trust me, I'm far from this Christian supporter or Christianity supporter here, but they are constantly doing things that are so like un-Christ-like. You guys were talking about the CPAC Trump Bible thing. I mean, all it's missing is a horn or two horns and a tail. And then you have the golden calf there.
What's un-Christ-like? What does un-Christ-like mean, and why should we give a damn?
Well, yeah, okay. I'm not speaking very, very specifically. I'm just because my question was more about like I feel like when they're trying to claim like the good parts of what being or what Christ is teaching, you know what I'm saying? In that way, I don't mean like actually like the teachings from the Bible, because that's all crap. I'm talking about like, oh yeah, he's just
get rid of the teachings of the Bible.
More like.
Once you get rid of the teaching of the Bible, there's nothing left. So what's the point?
No, I know that's what I'm trying to divert the conversation from. I'm trying to say like they're trying to be like, okay, be like Christ, but when they talk about it, it's like just being a good person, and Christ like we're everyone else is evil, and Christ is good and everything. But I'm just trying to ask. When I have these conversations, like, well, it definitely feels like when the good things you guys are referencing, like you want to be like, it doesn't seem like that's the party or the Republican Party who's always trying to be more of the good guy, which people would relate to Christ. And again, I'm not trying to be like the literal Christ that they believe in the Bible. I'm just trying to be like, the characteristics of Christ. Or
what is it? Nathan, I need to know what is it that they like, that they see.
But I mean, Matt, I think Nathan, you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong here, it sounds like what you are saying is that you don't think the Christ of the Bible is good, but they associate Christ with being a good person. Are you saying that or no?
Well, I don't think Jesus existed to begin with. But I guess I'm trying to phrase it in a way when I think that they've hijacked Christianity in a way to kind of as like a bigot insurance. And I hate to be like blunt about it, but it's like to mask their own prejudices.
But Christianity is bigoted. Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
So how is it a hijacking of Christianity to be? How is it a hijacking? All right, let's stop and let's start. Let's stop and start over, Nathan. What is it that you think they like that they're trying to say is more Christian?
Well, I think they'll confuse humanism with Christianity, like being good towards love thy neighbor. It's just the basic tenets. Like there's just the funny things that they claim that what Jesus would do. Like he's the one that was like anti-rich, right? And then was more courteous and friendly and favorable towards like the homeless people or the less fortunate. And I just see the opposite happening in the Republican Party. Like they're all for the rich.
Yes. So what have you talked to your Christian relatives about why Jesus can say, sell all your belongings and give money to the poor, and yet they're voting for the people who are doing the opposite?
Well, that's kind of like why I'm calling in, because I have difficulty.
Why would you
reaching
call
them
me
because,
to ask me what their reason is? You need to ask them what their reason
No, I'm
is.
not specifically. Sure, I agree. I'm just like, because I mean, I've listened to you for a while, and it's definitely helped me to have conversations with people and reaching to certain points. But this one seems, because it's hard to reason with people who hold these beliefs. Like, I have relatives who are still QAnon people, and it's heartbreaking.
Okay, I'm going to do you a favor, Nathan.
I met with them.
I'm going to do you a favor. It is not your job to fix everybody. And you are not going to be successful at trying to fix some of the people you'd like to fix. But you can have conversations with them and say, I thought that your religion was about selling your belongings and giving the money to the poor. And yet the Republican Party that you're supporting are doing the opposite of that. And what you'll find, by and large, is that most of them only give a shit about abortion. Most evangelicals, the party was divided up with the moral majority, and Ronald Reagan was getting ready to run for and be president. The party was turned into, we are the anti-abortion party, and that's the only thing they give a fuck about. They are single-issue voters. And to be fair, I'm a single-issue voter in many regards too, and that issue is the motherfucking goddamn Supreme Court. Because that's the thing that I need to protect more than anything. But you have to talk to them.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I mean, I also think there's a disconnect here, though, Nathan. I think there's a disconnect here too. Like, you are also interpreting Jesus as this great kind of loving guy who, you know, told everybody to go sell their stuff. And there are two sort of strains of Christianity in America. And historically, like, the Jesus was this great guy who hung out with prostitutes and told everybody to love each other and, you know, cared for the poor. That is a relatively new strain. I mean, there are pretty phenomenal arguments from the Bible on the side of slavery, on the side of segregation, on the side of subjugating women. I mean, you can read the New Testament. I mean, there's this story in Matthew and in Mark. They tell this woman, this non-Israelite, she had a sick daughter. She asks Jesus to cure the child, and Jesus ignores her until finally it's like chastising the woman and say, this is where it's Matt, you'll probably know the quote. Yeah, it's not fair to take food from children's food and throw it to dogs, something along those lines. Right. I mean, and then finally she says, no, you are my master. You are my Lord. And when she says that the third time, then Jesus relents and says, woman, your faith is so great. And then he consents to cure her. Like, he's only willing to do this for his in-group. And I mean, there is, and I get into this kind of a lot in the founding myth, and this is what Christian nationalism really comes down to. It's us versus them. It's not everybody is one world, everybody is my neighbor. It's us versus them. And that's what Christianity was for a really, really long time. This like modern strain of everybody. I agree. I'm saying it sounds like you're giving in a little bit to the idea that maybe it's not. I'm glad to hear you say that you don't think that. I mean, to me, your family probably has very good theological, biblical arguments for believing the things that they do, and for using Christianity as a tool. They may not. I shouldn't say they may not know the Bible, but like the Bible does support that position.
The thing is, I like what you said, Nathan. I like what you said, Nathan, about having bigotry insurance. I'm working on a video right now that specifically addresses this. There's a passage in 2 Thessalonians 3:10-ish, I think, where it says, "He who will not work shall not eat." And I have relatives. Fuck it. My mom has used that verse to suggest that the homeless people are lazy and we shouldn't help them, because in the Bible it says, "He who will not work shall not eat." And not only does she misunderstand the nature of that passage, but it doesn't matter what that passage says. And in no way is it fair to summarize the entirety of the homeless population as people who are just lazy and unwilling to work. I mean, there's nothing about that is true or good, but she's got a verse and an understanding of it that she thinks is fuck the homeless. Now, as long as that's possible, I don't have any interest in arguing with her about what the Bible says. I'll do a video that corrects it. But I'm happy to point out that you're being an ignorant bigot and you're trying to use your Bible to give you a get out of being called an ignorant bigot pass, and it won't work with me because we're better than that.
Right. Yeah. My family I think they do it because it's politically advantageous. Like, I don't think they can even cite a verse from the Bible. But
that may be.
It's hard to have these conversations.
I mean, most believers, I think it's half of American Christians can't name the 4 Gospels, is usually, and that's been the case for like 60 years.
The second commandment always comes to mind, especially with these recent events. I mean, I was Mormon for 18 years and I left as soon as I could. So I mean, I forgot a lot of the Bible. I forgot more than they'll ever know, I think. But it's different when it's family. I can ignore friends and random people on social media, but when it's family,
it's harder.
If you want to try and get through to them, that's just where I'm stuck with.
But yeah, it may be that you're not equipped to have that argument with them. Have somebody else do it, or maybe just keep showing them a better way over and over, and change the world around them.
I'll give the advice on here that I think I don't know if I've given it on here before, but go put the parental lock on their television on Fox News and Newsmax channels, and don't. I'm not kidding. Don't tell them what the combination. Like, seriously. I mean, make them. I'm not joking. I said that as a joke initially, and then I've heard feedback on it from people, and now it is sound. I believe it to be sound advice.
I wish I could support that, but I can't.
Our churches are not cable television. Yeah.
Hey, Nathan, I need you to hang up.
Facebook too.
Nathan, I need you to hang up on us. I appreciate the call, but I got 2 more to get to, and then a whole bunch of super chats, and we've had so many technical issues. But yeah, don't worry about it. You don't have to convince anybody, but you can have those conversations, and you can show them a better way while you try to change the world around them. But if legitimately you know that they don't know what the hell they're talking about, and they're not going to offer up any defense, I don't know what the next step is. And that sucks, but some things suck.
Yeah. Yep. Some things suck. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Hang in there.
Thanks,
hang in there, Nathan.
Appreciate it.
Will do.
Hey, thanks for checking out this clip for The Line. While you're here, hit that like button, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and then share this with that bitter uncle of yours who loves talking about the good old days.